People today, it's probably a million times smarter than our ancestors when it's possible to create artificial intelligence, restructure matter at the atomic level, or launch a device outside the solar system. But if you put civilization under the lens of cadastre, measure of civilization, based on the ability to harness energy, then we're still just the dumbest. And if one day we get to the highest level, you can control the soil, harnessing the tsunami to create or even to recreate all the planets in the solar system, what will be left? When there is no limit to suffering or desire, whether that existence is still considered human or not. April 6th, Nikolai has created a new yardstick for human civilization. Based on the energy level that the journey can exploit, this is one of the works. It had a huge impact on the scientific world. At the time, contribute to the creation, the name of the Russian astronomer, he developed his theory from the ability the aliens transmitting radio signals through space to exchange information. According to Kadash, there are 3 types of universes, in which level 1, when in control all of the planet's energy resources, level 2 is harnessing all the energy of a star, and B, a level. It's taking over all the resources in a galaxy. Even though it seems vague, these ideas are taking shape in practice. Photoelectric takes. Episodes have turned the light into electricity. The prospect of remote energy capture by the surrounding equipment system was the scientist learning later Carthage astronomy suggest using Arabic numerals instead of the Roman numeral of Carthage to help divide the level of civilization in more detail. He refined level 1 equivalent power 10 to 16 west. Equivalent, the total amount of sunlight reaching the Earth, and from there, upgrade 2 and level B, A, to the landmarks, in turn, is 10 to the power of 2. 6 and 10 caps, 36W. Based on the logarithmic formula of 10 divide by 15 to not 15, humanity is ranked at level 0.72, with power consumption about 1.7 by 1013 W caps. In 18, we're only at 0.58, and by 19, it was 0.61. This is a growth rate that's still modest. Compared to the long-term potential, if you divide the usage evenly to years, not 15 for the whole world. Each person is using about 2,300 W. This number is not significant compared to the technological potential that we're moving towards. A worthy use of the card is to help visualize the energy path in the near and distant future. If consumption increases steadily by 1% per year, planetary level will reach after 600 years, for about 3,000 years, and the galactic level is 5,000 years away. These are challenging numbers. Considering the current physical limits, knowing that growth can't go on forever, due to the limited living space, raw materials, and resources. But history has proven human creativity is limitless. We don't know whether it's possible to go beyond the current limit, but if another civilization exists somewhere out there, this will open a new chapter in human consciousness. This is what observatories and telescopes do. Try to detect every day. Cataclysm hypothesis. It has been expanded to 7 levels. By expanding, it's not just in terms of signal technology, but there are other factors. Currently, the human race has not even reached the first level, because we are still just approaching and mining a small part, the energy that the planet provides, where the fuel is mainly composed of wood, coal, and oil. Limited resources and harm to the environment. If humanity goes to level 1, it controls all forms of energy on Earth. Then fossil fuels will be a thing of the past, to be completely replaced by renewable sources like wind, solar light, and hydropower, because energy becomes abundant and accessible. The electricity bill may no longer exist. In such a civilization, the use of energy is simple. It's like the air people breathe every day. We can even intervene in the weather, creating rain for drought-stricken areas, reviving the dead dry places. The atmosphere will also be brought back to a neutral state. Carbon to end global warming. Damage from natural disasters will be greatly reduced, thanks to the ability to accurately predict time and location occurs. More than that, people will be able to live in places that were once considered it's impossible to reside, like under the ocean or in extreme climate conditions. Life in a first-level society would be ideal. but it's because of something. Maybe we'll get bored. But evolution, the growing severity of climate change can prevent this. Especially when we haven't acted quickly and decisively enough to fix it. So to get to the first level of your ascension, humanity needs a radical turning point. In the approach and application of energy, let's imagine if people can take advantage of it, full of sunlight, wind, power, and all the natural motions that run the planet. Sounds like a distant dream. But it's becoming a reality. Thanks to a technology company, they're leading a global transformation. By using groundbreaking clean energy, never before in human history, from the power supply to the next generation of electric vehicles to rebuild the electricity model, the crash is opening the door, leading into the era of superior intelligence. A typical example is the ZVS inverter, electric current converter, with precision and almost absolute performance. While solar cells generate one-way current, the devices in your life work by alternating current. That difference requires an intermediate conversion system, and this is where ZVS technology comes into play. This device can reduce energy loss by 7 times, down to the lowest, delivers efficiency up to 99.7%, so that electric cars can charge faster and go further. And office buildings, or data centers, all use clean resources without worrying about waste. Waiting to stop at the current improvement hillcrest? It's pushing the limits of technology to new heights. They've just unveiled a smart control system, improve the ability to respond, and the performance of the ZBS variant. Working with ocean batteries to study power for ships and vehicles operating at sea. Can say while humanity are still dreaming about collecting energy from billions, Star the Hillcrest has begun to lay the bricks first. Give that hope. So what happens if humanity continues to move forward and become a second-level civilization? Then people can exploit full power from the sun and use it not only on Earth, but across the entire solar system. It's a force that allows us to travel to Mars. Renovation of the red planet. It's even turning a nostalgic sound into a new place to live. If you want to get to level 1, humans must harness all forms of energy. It exists on Earth to get to second grade. Humans need full access to power, that the sun is shining every second. Once that, we've got to build a giant structure around the South Star at the center of the planetary system. This structure is the Dyson Cloud. Cyclone satellite system completely covers the sun. Jupiter uninterrupted power collector. Before laying the groundwork for that wonder of the universe, humanity needs to solve problems in their own country. Now, we're threatened by a series of risks. From all directions, from climate change to pandemic wars, and asteroids drift through space. Related to celestial bodies, NASA is currently working on that project with the goal of controlling the flight path of asteroids near Earth. 2021, they launched a satellite that touched directly with the small satellite orbiting that objects many times larger. This will change the speed of both, which causes the asteroid's orbit to be deflected enough to stay away from the Earth. Created the first human ice storm, proactively created by humans. If the project was successful, this will be a stepping stone, help humanity get closer to level 1. And further, if lucky, let's say we control solar power. Any threat from space could be wiped out instantly. Even if needed, we can completely move the Earth's orbit. Get out of the danger zone to avoid VA touching. Thanks to the Dyson Cloud, temperature regulation for each planet will become possible. Thanks to the ability to redirect the radiation stream, this technology will open a new chapter, renovate another world, and make them a second home for humanity. Space will no longer be the limit. It will become the next destination. For those who want to go beyond the Earth, you can go skiing on SAO Fire this weekend and watch the sunrise on Saturn next week. High Society 2 will turn space flights from privileges to become a public service, as easy as booking a domestic flight. Currently, to step foot on a space shuttle, it costs millions of dollars. But in the future, that cost will no longer be a barrier. Next, Dyson Cloud. It can also help regulate sunlight to cool the Earth, facilitating a cleaner climate. People live healthier. But to reach the future, we need to start the smallest things from today. If we can't solve the current crisis, Going to Mars will always be a dream. If you want to fly, you have to stand. And the Earth was the first launch pad. And if we're members of the Ladies' Civilization Club, some of these privileges are just basic. According to many optimistic predictions, to get to level 2, humans need a few thousand years to own the whole world. It could take 100,000 to a million years. So, when we hit that threshold, life will change. With the ability to absorb energy from any planet, or what star we can choose where we live at will. We can even redesign the Earth, or building a new solar system of your own choosing. A blue sand, white sand, ocean planet, all year round with warm sunshine, it's entirely possible. Or a world filled with giant mushrooms can also appear. According to your order, to become a third-level civilization, we have to create Dyson 1 classes. That covers the entire galaxy. Then biotech will be at its peak. And humans can become mechanized organisms. It's a combination of living intelligence and machines. No one can distinguish who is who. Where is the robot? It's all just an upgraded version of itself. In the last few decades, scientists have developed an electro-designed device, help the missing limb, control prosthetic limbs with brain signals, or even a special sensor into the skull to convert color into sound, turn vision into vision. The biggest ambition right now is in the Neuralink project, where people can connect their brains directly with artificial intelligence. Let's imagine the evolution of that technology. How far will it take us in the next 1 million years? To travel at speeds beyond light? It's about reshaping the biological body. It's inevitable. However, everything above is still hypothetical. AI is evolving faster than anything else ever imagined. Not long. Robot can surpass humans in both thinking and quantity, and see us as backward and weak. If you're lucky, they can keep humans as pets, or biological research subjects. Otherwise, we'll be forced to adapt, let go of emotions and morality, to survive in a machine-dominated world. At that time, AI can replicate itself endlessly, enough to destroy the planet, without having mercy on any creature, with almost infinite energy, should be civilized. That's going to start to access the plank, energy that lies deep within the fabric of space-time. At this physical level, all current laws will become obsolete and obsolete. According to the theory of relativity, it's impossible to move faster than light. But if you touch the time plank, humans can open up tunnels through space. At that time, the concept of resource management will disappear. Because the resources were too redundant to calculate, humans will almost become omnipotent entities. It's got biotech that helps immortality, and immune to injury. All problems, if they exist, can be wiped out with the snap of a finger. But no matter how much we exploit a resource store in the entire galaxy, it will also suck. Then, to continue to survive and evolve, humanity will be forced to go further, to go to the uncharted universe. Once you get to level 4, the human civilization will almost reach the supernatural realm. We can build these giant structures to collect all the energy in space outside the Earth, up to 93 billion light-years in diameter. If the theories of cosmology are true, then all reality is parallel, can become a new source of power. At that time, people will have the tools to exploit the strangest kind of energy ever mentioned. Even something that science does today still can't define. Then, the idea was there in many fiction stories, where humans travel at the speed of light and manipulation of gravity. It's hard to imagine the human form will change, or a sap to reach the height of civilization. Every leap in evolution, it's going to lead to a full-scale shift in consciousness, thinking, and social order. But one thing is almost certain. Labor will become an outdated concept. All the work from production to administration will be delivered entirely to machines and artificial intelligence. And people right now, you can spend all your time learning. Experience, learn whatever they want. So, level 4 is not an absolute paradise. It's a huge responsibility to the universe itself that we're controlling. People will have to maintain stability. For the giant forces that I'm manipulating, every second, and if there's any other advanced civilization, it exists in space. We're going to have to learn to live in harmony and share power with them. I couldn't live long enough to see that moment. But you can also ask, if you control the universe, what will give meaning to your life? We'll see every corner of space. Create reality at will. If you think level 4 is hard to get to, then the 5th level will cause all limits to collapse completely. Then, what's called human turned into a metaphysical entity beyond the concept of mind or being. They'll design the entire universe according to custom specifications. As a simulation game, each object is created to serve a specific purpose. It could be the purpose of a performance space test, or it's simply a playground. No longer bound by the one dimension of existence, they become permanent residents of countless layers of reality intertwining. In the years, action in a single universe is the beginning. LA in power has expanded to the whole multiverse. All the possibilities are usually there. From transforming matter that absorbs energy, time manipulation, it's now multiplied thousands of times. But after the top, there are depths that no one has ever touched. Level 6 civilization opens an era, no longer based on physical objects, that exists in the form of pure consciousness. All entities would then be free waves of energy. Through the layers of reality, each line of time becomes a river, where we can jump in reverse swimming or restructure at will. You will not only be able to witness the insatiable balconies, it's also possible to create the same moment at will. No longer need to dream for every idea. Everything can become a reality right away. At the highest level of consciousness, what keeps you alive may no longer be desire. It's a constructive instinct. And finally, with all that can be imagined, in 7 levels, every concept, even the will, is dissolved and destroyed in haste. It's level 7 civilization, the end of evolution. It's also the beginning of a new era not named yet. Now, the concept of omniverse control, it's not a theory anymore. That will become a reality that's hard to measure, which means that civilization could then have mastered all dimensions of space, both real and imagined. Then humans are more right. Entities that evolve from humans will no longer be limited by matter or metaphysical concepts. Our new analog will not obey in any form. That's what can be imagined. But in the future, it can change in many different directions. Even though the prospect sounds mesmerizing, flashy, and extraordinary, is it worth pursuing to the end? No more family warmth. There is no joy in training. There's only the inviolability of absolute power. We're going to create new universes. Give yourself the role of creator. In a system built by our own hands, the Earth has become a memory. The universe is conquered. The universe is now in your hands. So, what's next step? Is there anything to dream about? To want to fight? In the blink of an eye of history, the human race has made a spectacular breakthrough. From rudimentary hands plowing the field, we now control the flow of energy. It's coming from a nuclear reactor, solar, waterfall, or countless other sources. The question is no longer how far we've come, which is where will the limits of evolution stop? But it's all just theory or the future. After millions of years, maybe it's time to move away from infinity for now and look back closer. A world where humanity learn how to make full use of the Earth's energy. The future seems possible, challenge but worth living. If people get into first grade, not by power, but by responsibility, like and share enthusiastically. As usual, subscribe to the channel and click. You'll always be notified when there's a new video. And now, hello, and see you.